Hey, ladies and gents, coming at you via video. This is Coach Pena. I know I'm not here today, but I still need to get some information across. And today we're going to start on our volume. All right, so first thing we need to get is make sure we get 2 different color highlighters or markers. It's very important that we're going to highlight and color everything that we're going to need to do today to make sure that we understand what's going on. Okay, so what I'd like for you to do is highlight and label as I did. We're going to go through this book. We're only going to do the first one with the prisms. You got the notes, and then we got 2 examples to go with it. All right. So just the basis to start off everything is, where are we? You know, where we are, what we just took a test over, and a lot of it had to do with surface area. Finding the area of all the shapes on the outside of the 3D figure. Okay, so we had the front, right? We had to find the area of that, find the area of the back, the top, the bottom, the sides, right? That's what we did. We found the area, added it all together. We found total, we found lateral. Now, where we're going is we're getting away from the area, and we're moving on to what's on the inside of figure is, right? That's volume. Finding out how much a 3D figure can hold on the inside. So no longer the outside. We want to know everything now on the inside. All right, so get in that mindset. We're switching gears here. So, first page. Well, let me go back. I know you see something cheesy where it says it's all about the base. I know it's a song, right? But this unit right here, this is important. It is important to know what the base is. This is why I went over all the names and how a figure was named by its first name, which is the base, and its second name, either prism or pyramid, based on its lateral shapes. Okay? So, just keep that in mind. Alright, I know it's cheesy, but it is all about the base. Right? And you're going to find that out today. Alright, so the formula we're going to go over is V equals BH. And if you notice, that B is capitalized, right? And we just call it big B, right? I call it big B. It's capitalized. It's not a lowercase b like you see like in base of a shape, like a rectangle or, you know, a triangle. This one's actually capitalized because it means more than just a regular base. Okay? So we all know what V stands for. Volume. Go ahead and fill this out as I go. Now B, go back to the capital V. This is. Go back to the front page where it says it's all about the base. Now, what about the base? Area of the base. So this is where a lot of people mess up, not knowing what the big B is. Like, what is the area, right? We need to know what the shape is, right? Because we're going to end up needing to find the area for it. Okay, so volume equals area of the base. We all know what the lowercase h means, right? That's height. So, going through this, we're going to shade and label the bases on the prisms below. Label the heights, right? So the first thing we're going to do, this is where we have the colors for the markers and the highlighters. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is shade and label the bases. Well, this first one we know, right? We see the triangles on the ends. We see the rectangles on the sides and on the bottom. This is a triangular prism. So go ahead, highlight that, or color it in. With your pencil or marker, a different color marker, it doesn't matter. You need to put a big B there. Very important. Right? So we're going to go ahead and do that for all the shapes that we have right now. So big B. Know what the base is. So we need to find the area of that base first. This next one I'm just going to go over on the side. Let's give it a different look. We know that bases are not always what it's laying on, but sometimes they can be on the sides. Let's go ahead and use these as the bases. They go with the big B. We all know that one's a rectangular prism, right? Made up of all rectangles. Next one, right? The slice of cheese, the piece of cake. We all know those triangles on the top are the bases. And on the bottom. Those are your bases. All right, label it big B. Big B. All right, so that's one aspect of the volume equals big B. The other one we need to figure out is the height. Okay, what's important about the height is what you need to know is that the height is the distance between the bases. It's the distance between the bases. So one way to look at it is I want to figure out what is connected to both bases, right? And so we know this first one, there's a triangle, and I have a line here, or this side right here, that is connected to both bases. I would highlight that with a different color, right? Because that right there is going to represent the height of this figure. It is connected to both bases, and it's going to tell us the distance between them. Okay? If you notice, that's not the only line that's attached to it. So not only can that be the height, this bottom one can also be the height. So there's more than one edge that can be considered a height. All right, you see that? So, good. Now, I know there's dashed lines connected to both, but I don't think they'd give you that. That's kind of like a little trick. I don't think they would ever give you what that side is. So we'll just look at those first two up front. All right? So, looking at here, in the rectangular prism over here, we notice that this right here is connected to both bases. We know the bottom right here is connected to both bases. We know this one in the front is connected to both bases. Either one of those can be considered the height. Cool? Next one. Right here and right here. Those are considered the distance between both bases. That would be the height of the figure. If we need to slow down or if you need to stop, just ask to pause it, right? And we can always rewind and look at it that way too. Okay, so if you ever need extra time, you can pause it right now, help explain, or just replay it back too. All right? So, example 1. Prism volume. Number 1, how many cubic inches of sand would it take to fill the prism shown below? Now, a couple of things stand out in this one. When I read that question, I see how many cubic inches. Cubic. So we're adding a third dimension now. Now we're talking about volume. Cubic is to the third power. So that's one thing I know that I need to find volume with. Volume. Cubic. There's also another keyword that will help us figure out that this is volume. The word fill. Right? We're no longer talking about the outside. Filling talks about the inside of the object. And that's what we're going to do to find the volume. Alright? So that first one right there. These rectangular prisms, they can be tricky sometimes because usually they don't tell you what the base is. Well, here's a little hint about rectangular prisms. It doesn't matter which the base is. You can use any of those sides or faces as the base, and you're still going to get the same answer as any other. What would you do? That you would do with a rectangular prism. Okay. So I'm just going to go with the bottom. I'm going to go with the bottom with 5 and 6. So we'll label this on the base. Go ahead, color it with your highlighter, please. Right? And we're going to talk about the volume. Okay? So, that's our big B. Right? Label it with the B. So, formula again. Volume equals big BH. Right? Big B, once again, represents the area of the base. Right? We see right here, I'm going to go ahead and put big B out by itself. Because I know it's important. So, what shape is big B? We all know that is a rectangle. Okay. What's the area formula for a rectangle? We all know that's base times height. Okay. So, base times height, we know it's 5 by 6. Alright, what's 5 times 6? Yep, 30. Okay. So, that is big B. Now I'm going to move on over here. Go back over here. We're still trying to find volume. I know what big B is. It is now 30. Now I need to know what the height is. Well, there's only one other number it gives us in this problem, and it is 10. Okay? So go ahead, highlight that one with the height, right? And we're going to input that in where H is at. So 30 times 10, we're going to be able to find this volume. So 30 times 10, everyone says 300. 300 inches cubed. Inches cubed. As easy as that. Right? Rectangle prisms. Like I said, you can do 10 times 5. 10 times 5 gives you 50. And you can do 50 times 6. And you're still going to get 300. Alright? Still the same thing. Pause if you need to. Alright. Go on the bottom. How many cubic inches of sand would be needed if I only wanted the prism 1/3 full? Right? The key word says 1/3 there. So we're going to an extra step here. Okay, we already know the volume is 300. We should also know if I want to find 1/3 of something, we are going to divide. Right? We're going to divide by 3. Everyone, what's 300 divided by 3? 100. So 100 inches cubed will be your answer for that one. Okay, pause if we need to. Alright, moving on to the next page. Alright, so prism volume example number 2. What is the maximum amount of cubic meters this prism contains? Right? Once again, we have that word cubic there. Right? And then we also have another word, contains. Right? Cubic contains. So we are doing volume. What's the formula again? Volume equals big B H. Right? We all know that this figure right here is a triangular prism. Triangular prism, which means the triangle is your base. Shade it in. Use those colors. Alright? Label it big B. Cool? Alright, so big B, come over to the side. This is where it's important to know what shape we're talking about. We are talking about a triangle. And once again, that number one thing that we mess up on every time we mess with a triangle is not dividing by 2 when we do this. Right? Write down your formula. Let's get through it. Okay? So, big B, or big B, right? So now we're just going to lowercase b and lowercase h. So we have, right here, 7.2. And then this 9 that was here was pointing to the dotted line here. So we know that is the height for this triangle. Right? And then make sure we divide by 2. Let's do the math. 7.2 times 9. 2 times 9 is 18. 9 times 7 is 63 plus 1 is 64. How many times are we going to move that decimal? Hopefully you write that once. Okay? So, you got 64.8. Now, what's left to do? We need to divide it by 2. Alright, kind of rhyme right there. Alright, let's divide that by 2 now. So, 2 goes into 6 3 times. Goes in there 4, goes in there twice, goes in there 4. Right? And then boom, goes in there 4. Right? So we know big B is at least 32.4. Okay. Awesome. So we found out what big B was. Once again, step at a time. Big B is 32.4. Now we need to move on to what the height is. If you already see it right there, that is your height. You need to color it. Height. The height is 3. Now what's left to do? Multiply 32.4 times 3.